On today's episode of Overexposed, we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to build an instant film camera. Now, I'm not crafty enough to even attempt building one myself. Luckily, the folks at Jollylook were kind enough to send me a kit. And I've got it with me right here. We're going to go through the kit, put the thing together, and see how the thing turns out. So, let's get into it. Now that we got all of our cameras positioned correctly, we're going to get started. I hear screws inside already shifting around. And I have to say, I'm genuinely excited to make this video. As a kid, I grew up loving putting together Lego sets, and a project like this to me is no different. It's gonna be a good time. So opening up the box, you can see a packet here. Oh, it actually comes with some instant film. Ah, look at that. Shout out to Jollylook. They actually included some film. So we'll be able to test the thing out when we get done with it. Now we've got boxception. We've got a box inside the box. So let's just chuck that one away, and there's what we're dealing with. Wow. It's actually pretty complex. And looking at the back of the box in English, it says that it comes with a photo, Fresnel lens viewfinder, pinhole, manual shutter, focal distance zoom, expandable bellows, development crank, exposure calculator, and development unit for Instax mini film. What are you doing? You want to come out here and make a video? We can make a dirty one. You sure? Our subscribers might like it. Better than boring old photography. I love you. So we've got our screwdriver kit ready to go. So we'll just put that right over there for the time being. But let's go ahead and dig into it. It's not elegant. I'm not a professional unboxer like some of those guys you see on YouTube. We're just happy to get into it any way we can here on Overexposed. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Got a set of instructions here. It's all really cool. It's got an Australian quarter in it. I don't know what that's for, but I'm stoked about it, isn't it? One thing that's a little bit concerning, I don't know if it's supposed to be like this or not, but I've got a lot of screws just kind of shifting around inside the bottom of the box. But we're going to ignore that for a few minutes until it presents itself as a problem. I've taken all the packaging and the components out of the box here, and you can see that they all have a number on them. And each of these, I'm assuming, corresponds to a particular step in the process. So what we're going to do, this really complicated looking situation here. So let's get that here and put everything else to the side. Each of the components here that I've got in package number one, you can see they're really cool. They're pre-cut, pre-drilled, and they have the markings on them. This looks like some sort of focusing mechanism. It's also stained a nice pleasing coffee color as well, so really nice touch. And on this first step, I'm just lining up the two holes, and we're gonna put these two pieces together. Pull the loose screws out of the box, and I'm gonna start putting them in. This is pretty brittle wood. It's just really kind of a plywood material. You're gonna wanna be careful when you're screwing into it. You don't wanna over tighten some of this stuff. Everything went together nice and smooth. The critical thing there is you're gonna wanna make sure that you align everything properly. And obviously the sides with the text exposed, they're gonna be facing out. So nothing to that, no big deal. And now we've got this little miniature pack that was inside. And this little rubber grommet, you can see once it's put inside, serves as a little bit of a rubber band. It's designed to be stuck right in place there. And check that out, you can see this little wooden piece slides up and down with the rubber band. And again, this one's gonna be a really simple, just a matter of lining up the big holes with the small holes. So I'm gonna grab some more screws. Cool, so that goes together just like that right there. And you can see we've got some double stick tape on this. And this is gonna attach these little foam pads and then just stick the foam padding on just like that. One thing that the kit's telling me is that a couple of these components need to be waxed. Kit didn't actually come with any sort of wax or any sort of lubricant, so I'm just gonna bypass that for now, and I'm gonna come back and add that later. Now we're gonna assemble this little gear mechanism. Again, just using screws. I'm not sure how tight those are supposed to be on there, so I'm just gonna wiggle it around to see that I get some movement with the gear, and that loosened it up quite a bit. But I want mine to be lined up just like the one in the picture. I don't know that that's important, but I also don't know that it's not. So I'm trying to save myself some work down the road. And the image looks slightly up tilted, so we're gonna do ours kind of like that. Now I've got it moving along pretty good. And none of it turns as smoothly as I would like, but that's where we are. And now it's time to move on to bag 2. And these steps look like they're relatively straightforward. Just gonna slide these into the end, these little tongue groove kind of joints. On to the next step. This little tongue is gonna go in there like that. Gently putting the screws in there, getting everything lined up. Oh, and I see what the coin is for now. And I'm gonna screw it in the bottom. So I've got my Australian coin or something like that. And I'm just gonna screw the tripod thread into the bottom. It's a little more force than I would want to apply to this very brittle wood. Tripod mount is in there pretty securely, just like that. All right, now we finished step 2. And on this one, looks like we're making a little button of some little rubber piece that's gotta go in there. Kind of a long project. A lot of screwing in this project. Most screwing that's been done in my house in years. Got another one of those little rubber band situations here. Kind of stretching it across the gap. I got this little distance gauge. Look how cool that looks. With all the little etching on it. And it's even got suggestions on how you might use those. All right, on to step number 5. Step number 5. And this one looks exotic because it's got the bellows in it. Look at that. Look how cool that is. Holy smokes, I love that. It's like a little accordion. Very delicately, try not to damage anything. It's like we're just kind of feeding this through. And remove the double stick, that side of the double stick tape, and just stretch this out as far as I can, make it stick. On to bag 6, we're making good time now. A lot of pieces in that one. See, it says there's a magnet here, but I've seen no such magnet. Maybe it's in, no, it's not in there. Magnet. Oh, this is the magnet. Okay. All right. I got you. Let's see what we're doing here. We've been here before. We've done this before. No need to panic. No need to panic. We're getting there. Will it work? I don't know. But we're going to get it put together nonetheless. Another rubber band deal. They're very proud of that rubber band design. That right up in there like so. Like yay. And we're going to put some of these weird angly things together here. It's a technical term for these parts, weird angly things. And again, this is gonna go just like we've been doing, just in the top there, push it down. And there we go, and there's some things, we done some things. Everything feels like it's good, feels good. It's got a little smiley face on the front. Look at that. It's handy as a pocket on a shirt, look at that. Good, yeah. You are really needing something, aren't you? Oh, here, don't show the internet your butthole. We gotta do this. Why we gotta do this? It's an orange cap break. It happens. Okay, we don't have that many steps left, Luke. I don't know what these little bitches were. These little clear tits. But they were annoying. All right, another slight problem with the kit. I don't see any way that I can make this hole line up with that hole. It's just about a millimeter off, or 2. See, you can see where it was trying to thread itself. Right there, just not lined up, and I've tried moving it all around and can't make it go. All right, moving right along to the next step, step 7. It's a little ground glass, isn't that cute? Huh. Cool, got the ground glass in. All right, so after quite a bit of struggle getting the viewfinder on the top of the camera, I think we're where we need to be. The pinhole opens there, and the lens flips up and down. So pretty darn nifty. All right, so kind of putting everything together here. Starting to look like a camera. Now tell me that's not starting to look like a camera. You just push the little tab down, and then boom, there's your camera. It's honestly sick. It's honestly really cool. And it looks like we have the thing done. Looks like everything on the camera is functioning. So there's what it looks like. You have an exposure calculator on the back. You have the camera entirely boxed up inside this kind of portable shell. You have the place where the film ejects on top right there. And I'm gonna open it up here for you. This little switch on the side keeps everything all locked up when you're trying to transport it, just keeping it in your bag or something like that. You can unlock it, and then that's how you open things up. You can see the depth of field calculator here, and then it slides along. Focusing screen on top. Pretty darn cool. So what is there to say about the Jollylook instant film camera? I have to say, this thing is gorgeous. You know, compare it to an Instax, everything's made out of wood, metal. It's got a really nice patina on it where they've stained it this nice coffee color. But in terms of the form factor, it's really neat in the way that it's able to kind of collapse down into a much more portable situation. It's a really cool camera. Everything about the camera kind of screams vintage, right? It's all made out of wood and brass, and you've got this really nice leathery bellows. The build quality of the thing is really nice. At various points putting it together, I did have to hammer a few pieces into place. The tolerances for a wooden camera are very, very, very tight. It looks great. It's a really nice piece that I can't wait to put on my shelf at work or something like that. I don't know. I'm probably going to shoot the 10 shots of Instax film that they sent with it and see what the camera can do. There are obviously drawbacks shooting with a pinhole camera. You're limited to just an extremely narrow aperture, shooting at f1 million, so super slow shutter speed, and you're going to be confined to a tripod. And lucky for us, it has a really nice tripod foot that we screwed into the bottom. All in all, I think the Jollylook instant film camera is a really cool thing. Are you going to shoot it a ton? I don't know. But if you've got a photographer in your life and you need a gift idea, I think this is really cool. Most photographers would enjoy putting something like this together. It's nice to have a camera that you made by hand, right? Your blood, sweat, and tears went into the... But let me know in the comments what you think about it. Is this a project you'd be interested in undertaking? You like the way it looks? Let me know. And if you're interested in one of the worst instant film cameras of all time, check out this video where I shoot an instant film camera that I bought from Temu. And spoiler alert, it's trash. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.